I actually wanted to try something about catching soldier flies.
Ah.
Because when I had chickens at the time, I was then constantly looking for sources of protein.
I actually have soldier flies in there.
Is it?
Yes.
And did you, like, these are just naturally occurring? You set it up the system and they came in, or?
So another benefit of the vermicomposting is you don't have any food waste that goes to landfills. But then you can't
put meat.
Exactly. You can't put meat, you can't put starchy foods, you can't put oily foods. So then it was like, where do I take all these things? I had tried, there's a Japanese form of composting.
Well, you could do it in a biodigester. You can put that stuff usually into a biodigester because then it's bacterial in such a way that it usually breaks those things down.
Yes, but I actually want to get that.
Yeah.
But so because I didn't have all that, what I did is what I could feed the worms goes to the worms. Yeah. So what I could feed the soldier flies goes in there, and because soldier flies are they're nature's I guess wastemen.
Well, it is decomposing, but it's decomposing of flesh more so than vegetable or cellulose matter kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. So it's quite. I mean, it's lively. It's very lively. Very similar. Very similar to the.
Expecting something to pop up and.
I had to add this cloth as a cover, just to reduce any scents or anything that would come from it. Let's see if we have maggots right now. Do we have?
I'd be surprised if there wasn't.
Do we? Oh, there we
there
go. There we go. So these just were naturally attracted to the food waste. I just threw in food waste. I left the holes in the side. This was before the top got damaged. Yeah. And the black soldier flies just went through the holes, left their larvae in the food waste, and yeah, they eat everything.
Yeah, it's smelling a lot like a compost pile that nobody turns.
Yes. Basically. Yes. Very acidic sometimes also.
Pungent is what I would normally describe.
Yeah, so this was what the warning was, is that it's not pretty.
Oh yeah, no, none of this kinds of stuff is effectively. So then, what are you using? Are you basically just using the soldier fly larvae to break down this material?
Yes.
You're not then using the actual larvae themselves in terms of a protein feed for anything?
No. Okay. This was just mainly, I've got all this other food waste that I have no use, that I can't compost. So that's what it is. But if I had, let's say I had chickens, I could have designed a way for them to be able, because once they mature, these guys are everywhere actually. When they mature, because they just crawl out and they start looking for places to like bury themselves.
Yeah, to pupate.
Yes, and so you be in the house and you just find this thing crawling around. You're like, oh my God, how did you even get in here? But yeah, so but I wouldn't have found out about the black soldier flies had I not started the vermicompost. Because one day I just found them in there and it scared me. Because there were these like black wiggly things. I said, what have I invited into my worm bin? This is, but I went online, I asked people, I said, hey, guys, what's this? And they're like, oh, you have feed for your chickens, don't worry.
Yeah.
And
well, but this is the thing that we can be doing and producing all of this kind of stuff oneself. And okay, this is not going to feed somebody who's growing 100 broilers. That's not nearly enough. But if you've got 10 layers for eggs for your own house, doing something like this works so well into that system. And as you say, these are naturally occurring. You put it out there, you put the scraps, you put all of that there, they'll find their own way, and boom, you're growing your own chicken feed.
Yes.
Yes. So these are the systems I love, because it's everything that feeds into each other, and just kind of makes a nice cyclical system effectively. So it's all free. Yeah, it's all free. That's the amazing thing. I think the really interesting thing is, and I don't know if you can film this, all of the larvae have now disappeared.
Oh yes.
You've exposed them. And they're kind of like, no, we don't like the light. So now they've gone even further in there, effectively. Very interesting aspect of that. These things like to be in the darkness,
yes,
so to speak, don't they?
Yes. When it's really hot, you can actually hear them squirming.
Is it?
Yes, it's really weird. It's just
Yeah,
like
I would say that's really weird.
yeah.
All right, let's pop the top back on.
Okay. I'll leave this stick inside because now it's just like and also no flies unless you open it up.
Yeah.
No flies whatsoever. Oh,
Is this against other potential animals that would come to get in there as well?
no. It's just I want to use this for something. I'm just not yet decided.
Okay.
There was.
I wasn't sure if that was an extra protection against dogs or something like that coming to get into.
The cats do try. I don't know. Cats follow me around. I don't know why. So once they see you throwing stuff in, they just see them like trying to.
Well, they'll also have a good sense of smell to smell, something of interest for them. And whatnot.
But then I used to have a garden. Well, there's a mouse. There's this little mouse, and the cats won't catch it for some reason. It's like it survives, and so it once like ate its way through the bin.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and so that's why I had to add an extra bin to protect it. So that's one of the things you have to keep an eye out for.
You need to find out from that mouse where he gets his juju from, because that's strong juju. Well, thanks very much for that. I think you've inspired me. I might start my vermicompost thing soon, and then